Well, one of Mayor Deegan's transition initiatives focuses on youth programs. Tonight, News4Jax reporter Eric Avignon spoke with residents in Northwest Jacksonville about what they think needs to happen to keep young people away from crime.
Violent crime involving youth is a problem in Jacksonville, especially in parts of the city where gun violence and poverty go hand in hand. That's why in Mayor Donna Deegan's proposed budget, $5.8 million of taxpayer money will pay for literacy programs, youth artist programs, public city pools, and youth employment programs. These programs are supposed to help young people steer away from crime. To get a better perspective on this issue, we spoke with Renita Turner. She's a business owner in the 32208 zip code, one of the most underserved zip codes in Florida that also experiences a fair share of gun violence involving teenagers and young adults. Turner is also involved in initiatives to help at-risk kids.
I think anything that can show a child something other than what they see every day is good. But I think culturally, we have to ask ourselves, are these programs going to work?
Turner says spending money on programs that help youth find employment is great because it helps them become productive members of society. But she also says adults who are deciding how the $5.8 million will be spent are forgetting one key element.
Sometimes we're disconnected. I think we should sit down with our youth and ask them what they need and what do they think can help them shift their life.
We took Turner's suggestion of talking with young people to see how they feel this money should be spent. What they told us was very direct and honest.
Yeah. You gotta come to the hood to see what the hood like for real in order to know how you gonna fix the hood.
Meet Nathan Metler and Dethay Page. Both young men are under the age of 21 and live in the area of Knight Drive, an underserved community on Jacksonville's northwest side with a history of gun violence. Both say educational programs are good to have, but kids don't want to feel like they're in school all day, every day.
I feel like the 5.8 million should go towards something down here where the kids can go have fun, so they don't have to go towards the streets. That's the reason why we probably down here going toward the street, because we don't have nothing else to do besides to go out here.
We used to go to school, but it wasn't no fun in school growing up for real. Like, we go home and ain't got nothing to do outside but go outside and be in the streets. But you feel me? We had something to do outside of school, like an outside of school activity is better, because you keeping, this person might keep him from dying, you might keep him from going to jail.
They both agree that city leaders should take the time to directly consult with youth in underserved communities to understand what those youth feel they need to avoid a life of crime.
We the ones who enduring this and going through it. The older folks, they not going through it. They already done went to other sides. They already done did what they did in life, and they trying to put their opinion on how we feel, but they don't know how we feel because they never came to us personally. So basically, yeah, I feel like y'all should talk to every single youth. Like, in communities like this, the youth is the most important.
Now, one of the suggestions that came up was for city leaders to have direct conversations with kids while they are at school. That way, those leaders can speak with kids in a group session and get a better idea of what the kids feel they need to steer from crime. Now, I got to tell you that when I set out to do this story, I had no idea that particular topic was going to come up, so this really came as a surprise.
It was really interesting, though, to hear what these young people that you ran into had to say. Has the city said anything about what these young people said, about involving them in the conversation?
So, to be fair and transparent, we have not had the opportunity to ask city leaders if they have taken the time to actually go and speak with youth. Again, this topic just came up tonight, but I can tell our viewers that that is going to be a question that city leaders can expect from News4Jax sometime tomorrow during normal business hours.
Yeah, I know, and we've covered it. There have been meetings where they gather people together, usually at a place of worship. Nothing wrong with the place of worship, but is that necessarily the right venue for those young people that you were talking to tonight?
That is a really interesting question, because from talking to the people I spoke with, the problem is that the church used to be, back in the day, the church was known as the pillar of the community, and that's where everyone went. However, you talk to young people and they'll tell you, not every young person goes to church. They're not in church, and they feel that these meetings need to take place in areas where young people congregate, whether it be a school setting or somewhere in the community. And they also felt that you've got a lot of older people that are making these decisions, that are showing up at these meetings, when these stop the violence meetings, but there's not enough young people there to give their input. And so that's where there may be a disconnect.
Well, hopefully this is the start of a new conversation.
Very new conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.